Let's now go into education and parental rights. I saw a lot of these new laws that were on your list of the top 10 worst laws in the state of California. And this, of course, originates this controversy with AB 1955, which go ahead and explain what that is and not notifying parents in certain situations.
As a parent, if you go to your school's website, your school will, every one of these schools, or the majority of the schools that I have in my district, DEI is their pronouns. Okay.
That's diversity, equity and inclusion.
Inclusion, right.
Okay.
And so rather than teaching education, you're telling them it's okay to change your name or to change your sex or whatever it may be, instead of giving an education. AB 1955 taking away all the parental rights, which I get into that if we get into my opponent, because that taking away parental rights, parents need to know, what is my child doing? Is my child having problems? And having been around teachers, I've been around some incredibly wonderful teachers, and I've also been around some teachers who just assign themselves to the DEI, to where they actually think this is a better way to go instead of teaching.
And I would guess that your position is that any kind of social issues should generally be left out of the purview of the education system and focusing solely on reading, writing, arithmetic.
I went so far as to, I contacted, when I was growing up, we had wood shop, we had all the auto shops and everything else. Mm-hmm. To teach a child, and it's happened even in my own family, where my son, out of high school and everything else, had to come to us because he couldn't figure out, he thought because he's still, the adage of, well, I still have checks, I must have money, was his theory. Yeah. And he's got checks bouncing. Mm. Well, how do I do it? Had absolutely no idea.
Financial literacy.
Financially, literacy. I don't know how to cook. I mean, these are things that growing up, I had the opportunity. I know how to cook. I know how to sew. I can balance a checkbook. All these things that are just the basic things. Vocational, trades. Not everyone can be Einstein and a rocket scientist. You need those people in the building industry and in science and all these other things that are very important.
Yeah. And with the cooking and sewing, now you're giving me nostalgia back to my home economics class when I was in high school. I remember cooking really great things, and I made this, sewed this little bug pillow thing. I think my daughter has it now.
Yes.
So that they're useful skills. Absolutely.
They're being
even for a Vietnam vet.
In high school, when I was in high school, it was one of those things where all the cute girls, were at home ec. So it was so it was like, well,
I think I had to take it.
Oh, I volunteered for it because of all the girls were there. But then, once I was in, I was like, wow, I can cook for myself. I can do all these things on my own.
Yeah.
And even going back to understanding a trade, I went to Mercedes-Benz, just out of the clear blue sky. I went to them. Every one of Mercedes, Chevy, and a number of the other ones said, we will gladly supply the equipment. We will supply the individuals to teach these things, because that's a trade. Yeah. You can walk in and make $80,000, $100,000 a year as a computer mechanic on a vehicle or a boat or a plane, whatever it may be. That is a skill.
Sure.
Welders are making $80 and $90 an hour. Another skill.
But there are definitely trades here in California where the hourly wages that you can earn are very high. Plumbing, electricians,
yes.
In the building industry especially, because lots of those manufacturing, engineering jobs have unfortunately gone overseas or out of country.
Yeah.
But